Hello there, it's the Archivist from tradingcardarchives.com. We are in the middle of a massive 8-way SCP Foundation battle. So I have all 8 sets. So this is every set that's been released in this series. As far as I know, there are no other boxes available. It's these 8. I have all 8, and I've got them all on the table right now. In round 1, we already opened 1 pack from each, and these are the base cards over here. These are all the sort of runner-up hits, and these are the like good runner-up hits, and then these are the current winners. And the current first place card is just kind of amazing. It's an LR, which is the top rarity in the set. Maybe MLR is 1 level higher, but this is like the top rarity other than MLR, I guess, which only exists in this pack. But that was pulled actually out of a 2 yuan pack, which is even more crazy. So that's 1. This CR is 2, and the ZR over here is 3 for right now. And then, like I said, these are the base cards that we pulled. So there's quite a few of them, and there's different styles in each one. We'll see that again. One thing I wanted to show you, because I didn't notice it until now, and I've opened a lot of these, is the YCSX set, which has different design from YCSR. So these are YCSR, and these are YCSX. So this is like the second reprint edition or something. These 2 packs here are the X packs, but they're different sizes, like completely different size card. So these are kind of the small size, and these are almost a standard trading card size. So anyway, I thought that was interesting, so I'll put those over there. And then, yeah, without wasting any more time, let's get into it. And what we're going to do in round 2 here is kind of the same as round 1. We're going to open up 1 of each pack, the one that's left, and we're going to pull out the base, look at those quick, and keep the hits sort of hidden away, so that we can look at the hits in their own round afterwards. So there's a hit from that pack, and here's the base. We'll just go through it real quick, because well, those giant tentacles are kind of fun, and the monkeys and the birds kind of fun. I think all of those, maybe this is new, but these are all 4 are dupes. But they're all interesting stories. This bird's an especially interesting story because it's kind of like a snowball bird that just keeps going and will run anything it gets over. So we'll put those there. And then this is the 2 yuan pack again, YCSR 1 yuan. So 1 level above that. But this is the pack we pulled that LR from last time. So kind of an amazing hit there. Let's see what we get this time. And again, I'm just gonna take the hits out off screen, and that way we won't spoil them. Okay. Put those here, and then here's our base. So interesting, there's a dupe here of a card from that we just pulled over here, right? But they're not direct dupes, and I always like showing that. First, there's obviously the cracked ice foil on the second print of it. They have the same exact card numbers though, YCSR 1050. And from the front, other than the foil treatment, you can't tell these are different cards, and most collectors would probably consider them dupes. But I actually consider these 2 different cards because this one has logos on it, and this has no logo on the back. So even though these have the same number, I consider them different cards, and I collect 1 of each of these. So I'll kind of put those up here in case we get the 3rd. There's a 3rd variant that we could also get. And if I get that, I'll show you that variant too. Okay. Then let's pop open this pack. So this is from the 3 yuan box, which is kind of unique because back when Camon printed this 3 yuan box, nobody else was printing at that price level. They were the only ones. Now, a lot of companies are. Especially Kaio has kind of made 3 yuan the default instead of 1 yuan. So they've kind of gone with inflation and inflated the base price of their sets to 3 yuan now. But Camon was doing that way before it was cool. Also, a weird thing about that box is it has 50 packs in it, which is a lot of packs, and each one has 7 cards. So it's a really dense and heavy box, along with being, pretty cool one. And it uses on its base this foil treatment. So this is a third foil treatment that we could get the same card in. And you'll see this one's kind of obstructs the artwork, although that one turned out okay, but it obstructs a lot of the art. Well, I love the art on that one. That looks, I don't know, I don't like this treatment as much as the others. And we didn't get a third dupe there, so. Then moving on, this is the 5 yuan product. So now we're getting into the sort of premium cards. These will still have R's in them as a base, but will be more likely to have, GRs and LRs, the upper rarity cards. So let's see what we got. We got something good. I can tell you always, whenever you see a black back like that, you have something kind of good in there at least. And again, I'm just going to pull the base out and, or pull the hits out and then let the base go on the table right away. So here's the base we got. So there's SCP-408. And that's interesting because that is Dr. Kondraki, who is one of the observers. So, but Dr. Kondraki is also an SCP, but he's useful enough that they promote him to be an observer. And you can tell it's him because he turns into butterflies. So here's... Oh, there's a sheep with a phone. That's cute. Actually, I kind of want to go look that one up. Give me 1 second. I'm going to look this SCP up. SCP-1498. I'll be right back. Yeah, so it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a phone that is a sheep, and it is a fully sentient sheep for what that is, and also a phone. So kind of a really interesting, yeah, very interesting SCP there. I don't usually look the base up, but for that one, I thought I should. So kind of an interesting one there. Maybe I'll leave that to the side here because that's kind of cool. Also interesting, that image is the image used in the wiki for that SCP, which is brave because those images are protected by the CC by SA license, which is sort of a open source license that all of SCP Foundation uses. And with that license is kind of a viral license like GPL. And what that means is that if you use anything from there, like Camon has done now, legally they need to release all of this for free. And since they didn't do that, they're in violation of that license. They're also mostly defunct and probably don't care, but it's important to state that this product is in violation of that license pretty much by default from its existing. And that's, beyond the fact that it's also using the stolen artwork. It's also violating the license. Okay, so here's SR, giant robots. Ooh, I love this one. Yeah, so this is SCP-93 again, featured on that pack. But this is a different treatment of it. It has a foil on it, which is cool. And that one looks pretty neat too. We won't look any of those up. But these are SRs, so I'll put them here for later. We don't have an SR of that one, do we? No. Okay, sorry. I'm always... sorry. I actually collect these for my own personal collection, so I'm always sort of interested in what the cards actually are, beyond just sort of the novelty of them. So sorry, I was mumbling to myself there because I was trying to figure out if I had the other SR, because there's 2 different arts of that, but I don't have it on the table. I have it in a binder, but I don't want to go get that out right now to show you. I think we pulled the R version of that earlier. Maybe I'll do that. Here, I'll pause and I'll pull out the R version. That would be interesting. Be right back. Yeah, so this is kind of what I was thinking. There's actually 3 different artwork treatments used for this particular SCP-93 in the sets. And this one here from YCSR, S just means it's an upgrade set of the 5-year-old pack. But that one uses this art and is an SR. And then in the YCSR 2 set, it uses this artwork and is a rare. So I thought that kind of interesting to look at. Okay, sorry, let's get back to here. And this is YCSR 2. And it's the only 2 they ever made is that 1 yuan box. So there is no 2 yuan box or 5 yuan box or anything of set 2. They kind of stopped making the product after that, essentially, which is probably for the best, given the nature of it all. Those are mostly dupes we pulled today, but we pulled a lot of cards, and so we're going to pull a lot of dupes. And then here's one of the YCSX sets. So that uses the larger card format and slightly different artwork and has SCP-93 on the cover. This set is interestingly named Failure of Reception, which is actually a mistranslation. That's containment is more what that means. But they translated it as failure of reception. But really that should say failure of containment. Not that it matters that much, but just so you know. Okay, there's a hit. We'll put that down there. And then here's the base we received. Oh, I want to look this one up. If this is what I think it is, this is also a really interesting SCP, but I'll be right back. I want to make sure it's the one I'm thinking of. No, it's not. Okay, sorry. This one is just a regular ghost plane. But there's another one where, well, I don't want to spoil it, but there's another airplane SCP that is really interesting and involves like a ritual that they have to do each year with the plane, or really bad things happen. But that's not it, so we don't have to talk about that right now. It's here, and we're going to have our last pack open now, so we're going a lot faster. We'll definitely be through this battle within 20 minutes, I would say. Here we go. Got some rare cards here. Kind of like really cool artwork, but a lot of dupes. We're going to get probably tons and tons of dupes. I think we got this card already too. Let's check. What? Oh, we got the... Oh, okay. Let me get it. I'm going to pause because we got that card, but we got it in the other set. 1 second. I'll be right back. Sorry, I'm chasing ghosts over here. It is, in fact, just dupes. We just pulled dupes. I was... Sorry, I was confused there a little bit. Okay, so we have all the non-hits on the table now. A lot of base cards we pulled, but that's going to happen. And so now let's go back through and look at the hits from each set. So this is the original set again, and it gave us this wonderful SR, which we can go look that SCP up quick. So that is SCP-469. I'll be right back. Yeah, so this is a really creepy one. It's basically like a pile of wings, bird wings, but the bird wings are all attached to each other with ligaments that are kind of like chains, and they hunt humans and animals to eat. So it's just a bunch of bird wings that are kind of animated and will come and surround you and lock you up in these chains and then eat you. So and that's an SSR. So that's a very good pull. I'm going to go ahead and sleeve that right now and throw it in. You know, I'm going to go ahead and replace this ZR with that SSR, because the ZR is actually not that high of a rarity. You get it in every 10 yuan pack, and I like the story of that SSR, so I'll put that right there. Now we move on to our next set of hits, and we get an SR and another SR, so 2 SRs. Looking good. So that's 738 and 610. Why don't we look 738 up and talk about that one? I'll be right back. All right, yeah, this one's kind of interesting. So it's the chair. So that chair is actually the SCP. And whoever sits in the chair is going to be made offers, like really tempting offers by some unseen entity, right? Although we see it in the artwork here as some sort of form of death, right? And if you accept the deal, you have to fulfill it to the letter or bad things happen. So interesting SCP to get there. And part of the fun of collecting these, I think, is doing that, is looking up the articles, reading through it, learning about it, seeing how the art reflects it. It's been a lot of fun to collect these for that reason. Although again, very unfortunate that they're all stolen artwork. I can't fix that, I'm sorry. Liz, as I said in last video, if anyone wants to make a legit set of this, I'm in, I'll buy them all. I'll be your first and best customer, I promise. I own the art books. They do make art books that have some of this, like that artwork is in the art book. I have those as well. So here's an SSR of just a giant dragon. I already have this SSR, so I'm not going to put it up there, but it is cool to pull an SSR from a 3-in-1 pack like that. Now we're on the 5-in-1 packs, and let's see what we got. Oh, we got another SR, but it's different. And this is what I keep talking about. See how there's 2 different treatments on that card? But it's the same number. That means I have to collect it twice to complete my collection of SCP Foundation cards, right? Because I need one of the logo cards and one of the non-logo cards. You can see the different treatments on them. And then we got this one, which is SCP-5552. And then a CR of Observer 06. And these CRs are all drawn by an artist named Sunny Clockwork. That's why they all have a similar style to them. Although not credited, they're not credited on here anywhere. But I looked that up and know that. And they all have this similar like line art design. It's a very cool card, and it's kind of why I left this R out. Because this is SCP-408 is the story of Dr. Kondraki. So if you want to learn about this butterfly doctor guy, read that SCP to get started, SCP-408. I already have Dr. Kondraki's, so I should leave it, but I'll leave it over here. And this one, other CR, I didn't have yet, so that's why I kind of left it on the board. Okay, so that's our 5-in-1. Now here comes our 10-in-1. This should be the best one, because these are the most expensive packs. So here's our XR. Again, that's a clue of SCP-01. And you'll get one of these in each pack. So they're not that rare, but they're just kind of a clue about SCP-01, and that's SCP-04's clue. That there. And then here's an SSR. Great artwork on that. That is 4838. And this SSR I don't have yet, so I will go look that one up. This is, again, great artwork. I don't know who made this art, but it looks cool. And that is SCP-3998. I'll be right back. I tried reading and learning it, but it's a complex story, a very complex story. It started with a wedding and some mysterious murders, and that's kind of where this depiction comes from. But yeah, I would recommend reading that one yourself. It's 3998. I'm not going to try and summarize it, because there was a lot going on in that, to say the least. And then here's our ZR. Again, you're going to get a ZR from every single pack, so they're not that rare, but they do look really cool. And that they all depict different variations of SCP-01. So this is SCP-0132's, which I guess must have something to do with bullets. But yeah, very cool looking card there. And let me pause here. I'll look up that SCP story for you, and I'll get some things sleeved and cleaned up, and then we'll continue. But let me pause. I'll be right back. I'm back. I cleaned everything up a little bit. Sorry, I had to get everything sleeved. It was driving me crazy here. But again, these are kind of our SRs. So these are all, would count as hits, but they aren't major hits. These are all the base cards we've pulled. These are sort of major hits that weren't quite good enough to make it to the podium. And then those are the podium spots. And we have these 3 packs left to look at. So let's get them all done, and then we can kind of go through everything one more time. So that's just going to be an SR. Not sure what that SCP is. 681. I don't know that story. Let me go look that up quick. Yeah, so SCP-681 is pretty interesting. It's actually canisters of helium gas that are possessed in some way. And if you make balloon animals out of them, the balloon animals become sentient. So pretty interesting SCP there. Although not going to make it on the board. And then let's look at our hit from the YCSR. A 1v1 pack. Well, that's a creepy looking one. Just some kind of giant eel or alien thing. SCP-112. That's an SR. I've never actually pulled an SSR from this set or anything higher, so but that's a good looking card. And then for our last hit here, it's the same exact SR. Sorry, guys. But that will happen. So you will get dupes, and sometimes the dupes will be dupes of the hits, and that hurts, but it can happen. So that's where we end the battle. So that was 8 different packs of SCP Foundation cards, all 8 sets, and in the end, our winning cards are an LR, a CR, and an SSR. And the LR is just kind of amazing. That is a top rarity card. There's only one level higher than that, and you can only get it out of these packs. So this is sort of the highest standard rarity, LR. CR is another very high rarity card. You see we only pulled a couple in this whole battle. They all use line artwork from Sunny Clockwork and look great. And then SSR, not that rare, but I like the look of this one enough that it became 3rd place. So that's how we're going to end the battle, just like that. And then I'll go through these other hits quick, just so you can see them all in case you miss them or just want to see them again. It's another CR. That's the ZR. These are, again, clue cards. They aren't that interesting other than they're clues. There's an SSR with some great refraction treatment on it. So that's something Camon added to the artwork. It wasn't there originally. Also with the sparkles on that. Another SSR. Another SSR. I already had this one, but again, you see some interesting refraction work back there. Then a ZR. ZRs show off SCP-01 variations. So that was 32, and this is 2. And then this is in SHC. So that's a special kind of insert level rarity that depicts events around the SCP-49 monster. And the SCP-49 is this plague doctor bird thing. There's that bear SSR, another SSR, and then another XR. And there we go. So we might be done with SCP for a while, unless I bring it out again to do another battle. But now we have everything out on the table. We've seen all the sets and been able to compare them. So I had fun, and I'll be sorting and organizing these cards for a bit because I have to figure out like which are dupes and which aren't and all that. But I'll work on that on my own. But yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll get back to some more anime stuff after this. So don't worry about that. We'll get back into the cards I know you guys all love. Now let's talk to you soon.